It's time to live your stronger life. Hey, I'm Sammy, physio coach and nutritionist, and your hype girl for creating your stronger life. Here, we ditch the quick fixes and build real strength inside and out. So whether you're here to tone up, drop the body fat, build muscle, mental resilience, or ditch the diet culture, or just feel bloody good in your skin, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. How many days a week should you be training? It sounds like a simple question, but I get asked this all the time. And the answer most people get online is vague, overcomplicated, more often than not it's overcomplicated, or it's just kind of wrong for them. Some people are training 6-7 days a week and wondering why they're exhausted and not recovering and not seeing any results. And then there's other women who are training once or twice and wondering why nothing is changing. And then there's everyone in between, unsure if they're doing enough, too much, or just not structured the right way. And here's the truth. First of all, more training isn't better. Better training is better. And today I'm going to show you exactly what that means and how to set up your training week in a way that actually gets results for you specifically. So first of all, before we talk about how many days to train, I need to lay one principle down first because everything else builds on this. Think of this concept. Every muscle group needs to be trained at least twice per week to grow effectively. This is one of the most well-supported findings in exercise science, and it's something I program around with every single client. Here's why. When you train a muscle, you create a stimulus. The stimulus triggers muscle protein synthesis, the process of rebuilding and growing muscle tissue. And that process peaks in the 24 to 48 hours after training, and then it comes back down again. So if you only train that muscle once a week, you're getting one stimulus, one growth signal, and that's only once per week. Train it twice, there's enough time to split it up over the week that you can get 2 stimuli going in 2 training sessions and 2 growth signals. So over weeks and months, that difference compounds significantly. Now, this doesn't mean you need to smash the same muscle group every single day. Recovery is still a very important part of the equation too. But once a week is genuinely leaving results on the table for most women. Twice per week is definitely the sweet spot. So any training structure I give you today is built around that principle. We're hitting each major muscle group, I'm talking like legs, glutes, back, chest, shoulders, arms, at least twice across the week. And that's why the bro split is kind of shit and we shouldn't be following it. So let's look at how this can work across a 3, 4, and 5 day program. So let's start with the 3 days a week. It's genuinely a really effective option. And I always recommend it as a starting point because it's easy to fit within the week and it's not too much volume that you're going to be crazy sore, but it's enough that we can still get, the job done. And if you're a busy woman, a mum, someone who's just getting started, 3 days done consistently with the right intensity will absolutely get you amazing results. The structure that works best for 3 days, it depends on what days of the week you train. If you're doing say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can definitely do 3 full body sessions. If you did Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I would recommend doing upper day, lower day, and then a full body day separated apart. We basically just want at least 1 day in between before doing the same sort of muscle group. And then that way you're able to hit each major muscle group kind of every single session, but you can bias one or the other. You may, full body day 1, but do a bit of glute focus, full body day 2 with a bit of shoulder focus. If you want to kind of bias an area of the body that you do want to push for a little bit of growth. So you can play with it, but 3 kind of balanced full body days is really fantastic. You just have to realize that you can't do everything every session. So you're choosing compound movements that give you the most bang for your buck. So we're thinking squat or a leg press, a deadlift or a Romanian deadlift, a bench or a dumbbell, a bench press or a shoulder press, a row variation, a lat pull down variation, and then sprinkle in your accessories, your leg extension, your abs, your lateral raises, biceps, triceps, things like that. You'll just sprinkle them in, but you want to hit the same pattern: a squat or a leg press, a hip hinge, a horizontal push, a horizontal pull, a vertical push and a vertical pull, sprinkling the accessories. You kind of do that every single session, but that's not going to be doable depending on the amount of time you have available. So you may have to do a squat and a hinge and then go horizontal push, horizontal pull, and then biceps one day. And then the next day you may do a lunge, a hip thrust, and then you might do a vertical push, vertical pull, and then you'll do triceps that day. You can see how you, across the week, you're still going to do it. And in the compound movements and the isolated movements, you're hitting the muscle groups twice. So it can still balance out that way as well. It just also depends on how much time you have available in your training sessions as well. But what you want with those 3 days, this is the non-negotiable, is that you are training with real intent and effort when you are there. 3 days only works if those 3 sessions are quality. You don't have time to muck around. You don't have time to muck around in any of your sessions, but especially if you're only doing 3 days a week. If you're just going through the motions, you're chatting between sets, you're not pushing close to failure, those 3 days won't be enough stimulus to drive change. So turn up, work hard, push close to failure, implement progressive overload, move beautifully, and 3 days is enough, but only if you train properly and you have a well-structured training program and you're tracking how you're going with it. All right, the 4-day training week. 4 days is probably the most popular structure I use with clients, and honestly, it's a sweet spot for a lot of women. It gives you enough frequency and volume to make solid progress while still leaving room for recovery and real life. And so the most common split for 4 days is upper, lower, upper, lower. So therefore, you can also like kind of bias it a little bit. So, lower body day 1, you might do like glutes and hamstrings. And then upper body day 1, you might do like, chest and back, like horizontal push and pull. And then on your lower body day 2, you may do glutes and quads kind of focus. And then on your upper body day 2, you might do vertical push and pull kind of focus. So you just have like, you can kind of bias it a little bit, but you're able to, then you could also train like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or, you have that opportunity to be a little bit more flexible with the days that you can train. You can train days back to back as long as you're going like upper, lower. And because you're doing lower body twice and upper body twice across the week, each session has a slightly different emphasis. So you're not repeating the same workout, but you're still getting the same sort of movement patterns in. It's really nice. You can do like push, pull, legs, and then on the second, like legs twice. You could do that as well. That could definitely work. It just depends on like the way that your week structures out as well. So generally I find like upper lower tends to be better for most women, because if anything goes wrong and you can't do a 4th day and you can only do 3, you're still kind of getting a well-balanced week ahead. Like instead of if you did push pull and you miss one of those days, that's a biggie to miss, right? So it's a lot easier with 4 days going upper lower, just kind of fit it in across the week. But consistency of your schedule reduces the mental load. So do just try and, get a schedule and stick to it. But sometimes you got to be a bit flexy thanks to work and family and whatnot. But just, pick your days, lock it in, show up and get the job done. Now, if we were to do 5-day training week, and this is also absolutely doable, it's what I do personally, but it does come with a caveat. If you can't recover from 5 days of training, it's not benefiting you to do 5 days of training. And I have had ladies who, were doing 4 and they were like, I want to try 5, and because I love going to the gym, I want to try 5. And I can think of one in particular, and she tried 5. She did 5 for like 2 weeks, and she's like, I'm dropping back down to 4 because my sessions are not as good. I'm not recovering and I'm actually not performing as well. I'd rather do 4 really amazing sessions than 5 half-assed ones. So she auto-regulated and was like, actually 5, not a good idea. I'm just going to go back to 4. So more sessions only creates more results if your body can actually recover from them. If you're adding sessions at the expense of recovery, you're not in a growing phase. You're not going to grow muscle. And it's also, even if your goal is fat loss, it's not going to benefit you in your fat loss journey. You're in a breakdown phase. You're going to break down muscle and you're not going to be losing body fat as effectively either, if that is also your goal. So some signs that you're not recovering properly: you're consistently sore going into your sessions. Your performance is flat and declining week to week. Your energy is low, your sleep is poor, and you dread training. That's not progress. That's your body telling you it needs more time to recover. So if 5 days is your goal, make sure the foundation is there first. Sleep is solid, nutrition is supporting your training, and you're not running on empty. So for 5 days, a popular structure is like you could do a push-pull legs split. So you could do like push, chest, shoulders, triceps, pull, back and biceps. Then you could do legs, quads, glutes, hamstrings, and calves. And then you could go like upper day, which is a hybrid of your push and pull combined together, and then a lower body day again. So you could go push, pull, legs, upper, lower, like that could work. If you're a female and you want to kind of grow your glutes more, you may be more like me. That's like lower, upper, like kind of a bit more like that. So I have 3 lower body days and 2 upper body days, just because I'm like trying to grow my glutes way more and my legs way more. So I bias my volume that way. So you could also do like upper, lower, and then that 5th day could be a full body day. It could be your focus day. Like there's so many different options that you could do with a 5-day split, to be honest. But the key is we got to make sure we're hitting every muscle group roughly twice per week, spreading the volume across 5 sessions. So no single session is too overwhelming. But yeah, 5 days can absolutely deliver great results, but only if the quality is there and the recovery is supporting it. So more is not better. Better is better. And I see this play out all the time. Someone who goes from 3 days to 5 days, but their sessions get shorter, less focused, less intense. They're ticking a box, they're showing up, they're not doing real training. And then they wonder why adding the extra training sessions and nothing changed. Results come from progressive overload, from consistently adding stimulus over time. More weight, more reps, better technique, more intent. That can happen in 3 days a week, just as effective as 5 if the effort is there. So before you ask, should I add another day? Ask yourself honestly, am I getting everything I can out of the days that I'm already going? We want to squeeze as much juice out of the smallest oranges possible before we start getting the bigger and more oranges out. Are you training close to failure? Are you progressively overloading? Are you showing up with intent every session? And if the answer is no, more days will not fix that. Better sessions will. And on the flip side, and this matters too, if you're not progressing, you're not growing. Staying comfortable, lifting the same weights week after week, and never pushing yourself close to the limit, that's not a maintenance strategy. That is stalling your progress, no matter the goal of maintenance, building muscle, or dropping body fat. Your body adapts to whatever you constantly give it, and if you never challenge it beyond what it's already used to, it has no reason to change. So the goal isn't just recovery, it's recovery that leads to adaptation, rest, so you can come back and do more than you did last time. And that's the cycle that builds a stronger body. Train hard, recover, progress, and repeat. So here's what I want you to take away from today. There are no magic number of days. 3, 4, or 5, all of them are going to work. The best one is the one you can be consistent with, recover from, and progressively improve with. Don't add sessions to feel like you're doing more. Add them when you're genuinely ready to recover from them and use them well. And don't stay comfortable either. If you're not pushing, you're not progressing. And you can probably do more than what you think. You're like, that was hard, I failed. It's like, no, you didn't, sis. You got another couple of reps in you. Find the structure that fits your life. Show up with real intent. Have a real structured training program. Stop winging it, because that's also not going to get you results. And chase progressive overload every single session. That's where the results are. And that's where your real, strong, amazing, confident body is going to get built. Thanks so much for listening. If you found this episode valuable, please rate, review, and subscribe. And I'd love if you shared this on your Instagram and tag me, Sammy_livestrong. And if you'd like to learn more about my coaching and join the Project Livestrong family, please message me, Livestrong, on Instagram, and I'll see how I can help. I'll see you next time.